February 27th, Georgia Tone. 1280
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I think so. Macon area traffic.
I just bought you 30 seconds from.
Yeah, I had brought some notes, but I really want to kind of keep going with what they were talking about.
Okay.
Because I used to be homeless. I used to live in a Salvation Army.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Okay.
That's how God works.
Yeah, I know, right?
Put your headphones.
Macon Talks with Anita Ponder and Todd Haygood. Macon Talks.
Oh.
Local news, weather, national news, politics, and issues that affect us all.
Right now, we have a healthcare system that too often works better for the insurance industry than it does for the American people.
After much prayer and months of careful thought, I decided that next season, season 25, will be the last season of the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Thought-provoking, interactive, and on your radio every weekday morning. On 1280 WIBB, the voice of Macon.
It's 8:22 after 8 o'clock, 35 degrees and mostly clear. Good morning. I'm Todd Haygood.
And I'm Anita Ponder. Thanks for joining us. 784-1102 is the number in the studio, and our website is 1280WIBB.com. You know, every Tuesday, we have kind of created a segment bridging the gap between our young folk and us, whoever we, whatever demographic that is. And we've been having this conversation with George Willis, also known as G Money in many circles, about using him as a vehicle through, his organization, his club, because a lot of folk that we're trying to reach, they know you have their back. They know that they trust you, and they reach out to you. But now, so we bring George in here like we have on 2 previous Tuesdays. But he has his daughter Jessica here with him, and he is the doting dad. He is just a man. And we wanted Jessica to come because we know she's quite the songbird, and we want to hear from her. But then, as God may have it, we come to talk about one thing. George comes in, and we have Phil and Jackie in here talking about the homeless, and then it turns out George has a story to tell.
Yes,
and so share that with us.
I used to be homeless, but I didn't grow up that way like Jackie. I grew up on the west side of Atlanta. I actually grew up with Martin Luther King kids and Ralph David Abernathy. We was in the most exclusive black neighborhood in Atlanta, but when you cross Bankhead, there was Bourne Home, Perry Home, and Bankhead Court, and I couldn't wait to get to the hood because the hood was exciting. And I winded up on the street homeless, and my dad was a command sergeant major in the Army and worked at the post office, and we had a beautiful home, but I was more attracted to the street, and I winded up on the street homeless. I lived in the Salvation Army, and I was just telling the young man when he left that in Atlanta it cost $7 to stay in the Salvation Army. I used to stand on the corner of convenience stores and beg for money to try to get $7. But a lot of times, because of my addiction, when I was able to get $5, my thinking changed. I stopped worrying about where I was going to sleep, and I started thinking about that other $5 to get high, because it took $10 to buy a crack rock. So I lived on the street. I lived in Woodruff Park and the Mission and all that kind of stuff. And then one day, actually, my sister and I, my sister's 10 years older than me, we got high together. She turned me on to getting high. My cousin was 10 years older than her. Addiction and dysfunction in a family is usually passed down from generation to generation. Well, my cousin was 10 years older than my sister. My sister was 10 years older than me, and it passed down to me. And but my sister got clean. When she got clean, I was amazed, and her life changed. So, and that's my whole thing with the people that come into Club Monies and the people that's on the street. They need more examples of people that have been there, that are living successful lives. And then once they get there, then they need a combination of the educational system to help redevelop them into better people. You know, but initially, it took somebody like my sister that I saw getting high and being where I was to change her life. And then I wanted it. A friend of mine who's a judge now, and he used to do drugs too. And he's a judge in Atlanta, and he said, the only thing I can do for another sick and suffering addict is when they look at me, they got to see what I have is good, and they got to want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I try to do all the time, although I'm in Club Monies, and I'm in there by myself, and I want help. You know, I want help in that environment, but when the people look at me, I want them to see success. When they talk to me, I say, but guess what? I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I mean, the club is a place of entertainment, like going to the movies or going out to a restaurant. They serve alcohol. Do you know what I'm saying? But everybody that come in a club don't drink. You know, they come to party and have a good time. There's young people. They need an outlet.
Right.
You know?
And see, I've learned something. You know, you have a reputation of owning the club and not drinking.
Right.
I want everybody knows that. And but then I never knew this story. But what it says to us too is that oftentimes we look at a homeless person and we just think that, you know, their whole life was bad all the time. That came from a bad family. I mean, that they've always been that way. And what you're saying that is that, you know, addiction, it doesn't really see color. We see that from Jackie. You know, and in our you, it doesn't see. You know, it doesn't see, economic status. It can hit anybody.
Yeah, and I think that there's more addiction and dysfunction in a sophisticated society than it is in a homeless society because the money will never run out. They can hide it. So it was more people that I knew, you know, there's more drugs in a private school than it is in a public school. Okay. But they don't talk about it because they can hide it. They can afford to hide it and not let you see it. But it's there. It's there.
So another success story.
Yeah.
When we look at you and just look at where you come, that another success story.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not going to let them run me out of there. You know, everybody, the first thing they say, close that club. And, you know, instead of coming down trying to help me and trying to be a positive example. If your life is so successful, then come down and share that with somebody. Because you're not going to see these people in church. You know what I'm saying? You're just not going to see them. Most of them are, and I have brought an article, but I really want to talk about this. But the article I have talk about the lost boys of Bibb County, all the dropout rate, and the dropout rate leads to homelessness and leads to drug addiction and that kind of thing. So how do we stop them from dropping out of school? Well, my philosophy is to meet them where they are instead of being so critical and being like some guy said last week, bar them from Bibb County. You know, what are you going to do? Give our problems to somebody else? I mean, why not just meet them where they are, accept the fact that they are who they are first. I'm not saying condone it, but accept it. And then,
this is the reality.
Yes, this is the reality. And once you accept it, then you have a better chance of providing them with better quality information and other options what it can do with their lives.
And so one of the things you've been advocating is that you know, since the folk we're trying to reach might not be the folk that you see in your pews at church and, you know, out in the audiences where some of us are speaking and that kind of thing, is, you know, to come to your establishment or other places where they are. You know, you mentioned at one point bringing some cultural pieces like the theater piece, and I think that Zyril is part of that group out at the mall, and so you know, awesome and you know, and so some kind of networking to make sure that we help you. Okay, all right, and yeah, are y'all looking for a break?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You just say it. I mean, just say. But look, we're talking with Money, as some say, and George Willis is as I call him, and we're not only talking about being homeless, but we're also talking about reaching out to our young folks. Yes. And one of the things we've asked is to bring your daughter Jessica in, and when we get back from our break, we'll come and you know, she's gonna provide the music for her.
Yeah, ask her some questions. Ask her some questions about young folks. She'll tell you.
Okay, all right. We want to hear that. 784-1102 is the number in the studio.
It's 8:31, 29 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Good morning, 35 degrees and mostly clear.
Okay. Well, let me show you. Let me tell you two things.
Celebrating the shopping season
Okay,
of
like
Christmas
if
past,
you're trying to get my attention and my back not to you, just reach out and touch me. Okay, I mean, because otherwise I won't see it. Okay, just reach out and touch me, or like I do y'all, I knock and I make motions. You know what I mean? Because otherwise I won't see it.
Introducing new Robitussin to go.
Okay.
I thought you knew my story. That's why I'm writing the book.
No, I did not know.
I mean, addiction took me a lot of places. I mean, just being in empty houses and cars. I got kidnapped once. Just a whole bunch of stuff.
New
It took me
Robitussin to go. Pure Robitussin relief to go.
Huh?
Uses direct
Yeah, now 2 lines.
Okay.
Are you an inventor, or do you know an inventor who would like free inventors
Please
information?
hold.
Call Invent Help,
Please
one of
hold.
America's largest invention
Please
companies,
hold and
and
get
learn
that
how to get your free information.
Please hold.
Call 1-800-619-9321. That's
And then you'll lose that one.
1-800-619-9321. You'll learn how to attempt to patent your idea
And then tell them to
submit it
hold,
industry.
and then go back to
Learn
the-
how to get your free information by dialing 1-800-619-9321.
Is that- hold
That's
on, let me go back to the-
1-800-619-9321.
Could you hold on 1 minute
Tax
for me?
refund. You don't have to wait for the government check. Visit Parks and Roberts Tax Service. They'll help
Okay,
you
now
get
go
your
back
money
to
fast
number
with a
one.
refund
Okay.
anticipation loan as fast as 24 to 48 hours, or a quick refund anticipation loan that could put
Okay,
up to
yes.
$800 in your pocket within hours. Call our local office for details. Parks and Roberts Tax Service with 2 locations in Macon.
George?
Some people use those.
478-746.
Oh, okay. Tell them that. Who's gonna call them later on?
Next to Indoor Flea Market.
Oh, Phil.
478-0520.
Okay, yeah,
Or
okay.
visit them online at
That's who you just talked to with the
jforce8.net.
homeless.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, that'll work.
Oh, he heard it.
Okay, no problem, man. Appreciate it. All right, you also.
You start right here. We'll compare our Progressive Direct rate to other top companies.
Yes, hello?
You get a great price.
You do that for me?
I'm
Just
doing
for
well
you.
this morning.
And everybody
You want to get on the air and speak on the phone?
Progressive or go to progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Mayfield Village, Ohio. Prices vary based on how you buy. Comparison rates not available in all states and situations. Stay tuned. More of Macon Talks with Anita Ponder and Todd
Does it
Haygood
work?
on the Voice of Macon, 1280 WIPP.
Hi, I'm Todd Haygood of Macon
I'm
Talks.
Todd
If you're
Haygood.
traveling, don't miss
Huh?
Warren Valentine,
Oh,
Warren
white
Sharp,
boy.
or Bev Smith. They're streaming
White boy.
live online at 1280 WIPP.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I recognize your voice.
Hey, rise and shine. It's your morning cigarette.
Okay.
The first thing you think about. Not your friends, not your
All
job,
right,
not your
okay.
yappy dog, me. Yeah, I'm the first one out of the pack, so stuff that in your filter
They
and
just hung
smoke
up.
it. Coffee,
Yeah, he didn't
cigarette,
want to.
and
He
back
just said
off,
that
Pomeranian, your morning walk and wait.
he heard you say
Morning
my name and
cigarette
somebody
gets
that
the
knew me,
taste
and he
of
said that
toothpaste, and
the
the
show's
rest of
going
you
good.
get to taste
Okay.
Mornings can make you want
Giving
to
us
smoke.
accolades, huh?
Learn your morning routine without cigarettes. You can relearn anything without cigarettes. You can do it free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting.
Try 100-calorie Nesquik. All the delicious chocolatey joy of Nesquik, but now with just 100 calories. It's proof that happiness can be everlasting. All you need is a lifetime supply of 100-calorie Nesquik. Nestle Nesquik. Come to your happy place.
Todd
Good morning.
Haygood.
I'm Matt Cook with the Georgia
White
News
Boy
Network.
Radio.
The big job summit saw a lot of ideas tossed about on how to get Georgians back to work. Economics
I was just
experts
watching
agree
Todd
that
over there,
things are pretty rough in
rating the
Georgia, and
holder
job
button.
losses will likely continue throughout much of the year.
He just had his hand on the button.
While our official unemployment rate
Yeah,
is
y'all
just
can
over
knock at me.
10%.
Because I'll be talking about y'all must know how hard it is to keep up with, a conversation and know what you're going to talk about next or say next and all that kind of stuff.
Republican candidates for governor gathering tonight in Athens for their first debate. The Clark County Republican Party is
This is
hosting the
good.
event.
If this one
Bill
come
Griffin
out,
is
you're
the
going to
chair.
like this one for the,
we want to learn how the candidates stand on the issues where specific issues.
With my debate will be at the
but it
university.
doesn't look like that. It almost looks like, because the top of your head not showing. So it almost looks like, yeah, I guess it does look like a thing. It looks cool though.
Next year. It may save the county some
It
money.
just looks like you
but
cool.
A number of parents are scrambling
It
now to figure out
dispels the myths
childcare
about you when they
for
hear
1
your
day a week.
voice.
I'm Matt Cook with the Georgia News Network.
And we're back at 1280 WIPP AM, the voice of Macon, 35 and mostly clear. Good morning, 8:35, away from 9 o'clock. I'm Todd Haygood.
And I'm Anita Talking Ponder. They just all have it. I mean, they writing, okay, it's almost like a teleprompter. Zariel over there, Vanna White sign. Oh, not Vanna, I make you Vincent White. Okay, a Vincent White sign holding up, break, break, and then Todd looking at me like, what should be quiet? Take a break. I said, y'all better throw something at me. You know how somebody just picks up, just throw. And I said, oh, okay. Break. 784-1102 is the number in the studio. I'm feeling good about myself. Y'all know I'm not technical. I'm not that savvy. My good friend George is here working with his camera, so I said since he's doing that, I'm gonna pull out one of my little technical things and get the picture, just in case his thing. A week ago, I didn't even know how to send an email on the phone or a text or whatever and all that kind of stuff. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself, Jessica. I'm trying to bridge that gap, so to speak. Our website is 1280wibb.com, where you can listen to us live. Just hit the listen live button, and if you listen, you're gonna, I just know it. I can just look at it and tell. You're gonna really hear something. The Doting Dad, George is, we just talk about all kinds of things, and then when you talk about young people, you also have to embrace your own kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean, and lift them up where their strengths are. And we got to talking about you, Jessica, and he talked about his daughter could sing, and I said, of course, Todd said, okay, well, let's bring her in the show. Now, we were disappointed we didn't have you last week. You remember? I said, where's Jessica? Yes. I saw him. I said, where's Jessica? And then when you walked in, I'm like, okay, thumbs up. So now what are you going to do for us?
I'm going to be singing In My Daughter's Eyes by Martina McBride.
Okay. Oh, I like that choice. I like that. I mean, all right, you got it.
Okay. In my daughter's eyes, I am a hero. I am strong and wise, and I know no fear. But the truth is plain to see. She was sent to rescue me. I see who I wanna be in my daughter's eyes. And when she wraps her hand around my finger, oh, it puts a smile in my heart. Everything becomes a little clearer. I realize what life is all about. It's hanging on when your heart has had enough. It's giving more when you feel like giving up. I've seen the light. It's in my daughter's eyes.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, awesome.
Yes,
I think I'm gonna leave radio. You need an agent. I'm going, right? Hey, and the thing is that not only that, no music in the sister did country.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Country.
Yeah.
She loves pop country music.
Is that right?
Yes,
I mean, what? And then the sad part about stereotyping, and I'm finna go to
Okay.
George Willis, G Money's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. When somebody see G Money, the last thing they think you got a country singing daughter.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's how we stereotype though.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When I said, what you gonna do? And then I thought to myself, okay, it's McBride country.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Loved it. Loved it. Okay, let me get my card. Absolutely. What do you do with your music? Do you, have you recorded anything? Do you sing at your school? I mean, what do you do with
I sing in my choir at school and sing at church. I sing anywhere I can, really. I go around with my dad and he tells his story and I sing for them.
Okay, that's great. And then you are at Howard.
Yes.
Okay, and then without even intention, Todd, when we're talking about lifting up our young people, our bright stars, and I think you use what you have. Everybody is not in the same boat when we talk about young people doing great things and with talent.
That's right.
And so Jessica, we do this piece about our bright stars, and one day we're gonna just feature you in terms of that. But your voice is absolutely beautiful. And even though your story is wonderful, it gets highlighted.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It moves up a step to a proud daddy, huh?
Yes, that's one of the blessings of being clean and sober. When you get clean and sober, God starts to add blessings, and this is one of the blessings for me to come from the street and be homeless and be able to be a single parent. It's just me and my daughter. I don't have a wife. I don't even have a girlfriend, believe it or not.
Really?
But it's just me and her, and I try to live by an example. I live for her and for God, and so there's just certain things I don't do because I know she's looking at me.
Right. And another good example of a single dad, so many times we, or just dad, period. Sometimes we beat our men folk for what they're not doing, and we always need to shine a light when you are doing right by your kids.
Yeah, and we can do it too. I mean, it's a heck of a thing for a single parent
Mm-hmm.
to raise a kid. I mean, especially in today's society. I was talking to another single female yesterday about insurance, health insurance and all of that. It's a lot, man. It's really difficult. But, like I heard somebody say, all that won't kill us will make us stronger. So I just go through the tragedies of life and I grow as a result.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sit back and complain about how bad it is. And I guess that's what bothers me about people talking about the young people when they talk about thugs and the club and all that. I mean, it's easy to talk about what's wrong, but what are you doing to make a difference?
Mm-hmm.
How is your light shining? Let your light shine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you are shining bright, you don't have time to worry about what all that other stuff.
That's true. That's true.
God will take care of all that.
Now, Jessica, your age group, maybe even just a year or two older. As we talked to your dad, I mean, we were talking to him about bridging the gap between the youths and your generation, and particularly the ones that many folk have written off.
Mm-hmm.
Have already put them under the label of thug or whatever. I mean, let's just use your dad's club, and I know you've heard some of the negative comments about his club. Being a young person, I mean, what are your comments and what are your thoughts, or what can we do to reach out to your group?
A lot of the older people like to criticize our computer use and music and all that stuff instead of trying to learn about the technology and learn why we like it and learn about our music and help us. They shoot it down and automatically beat us about it. And it doesn't really help us in the end. It just makes us want to do it even more, because y'all don't like it.
And so again, that's that meeting them where they are.
Yeah, meeting them where they are. I mean, because I had that problem. My ex-wife was always talking about the computer, putting limits on the computer and stuff like that. Instead of being so critical, I decided to self-educate myself about the computer. And what I've learned mostly that a website, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter is a powerful, powerful tool.
Oh my God,
it is, man. So if you don't know, you need to educate yourself.
Right.
And then I know kids that can't pass a standardized test but know every word to Gucci Mane's song.
Right.
What is wrong with that? I mean, so maybe we need to put education in a song.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because they know. And they're not as dumb as we think they are.
Right.
They're very smart. I mean, to be able to, and I said this before, to be able to survive in their environment takes a lot of courage.
And I'm thinking, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, but Todd, our bright star, Theron Please, okay, he's 16, and isn't it something in what he's good at, like computer repair?
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
I mean, not just, if I'm not mistaken, it's not just computer, it's like, computer repair. This guy's 16.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very bright, very
16
smart.
years old. Of course, we always spotlight during the 7 o'clock hour our bright stars, and we're talking about Theron Please, who is a playwright. But when you look at his experience, I mean, virus removal, data recovery, troubleshooning, networking. I mean, all the kind of stuff. I mean, Todd has to come around here and turn this thing on for me, don't you?
On occasion.
I mean, really. And so you're right. And really, when you talk about the technology age, it really helps us to meet them.
Yes, exactly. Because we're living in a digital age.
Yeah.
And we were in the manufacturer's age, where they had like assembly lines. They don't live in that age. I mean, they have friends all over the world that they will never see, but they consider them as close friends because they have the ability to communicate with them on a regular basis.
Okay. All right, well, we have to take a break, 784-1102, and I have to say to all our Making Talks family, and Todd, I don't know if you know this, but 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, I joined, I really updated my Facebook, did the whole shebang trying to, use it as a vehicle. We in talk radio. I said, people want to do whatever and all this kind of stuff. I put it together. I'm talking about, I have I mean, from everywhere. I have so many friends I don't know. And then not only this, that wall thing, I find myself having to carve out time at night to respond to, you know, people who are asking questions and saying things on the wall. It is a new way of doing things.
Yes,
I understand why the president is having to, what did he have to take?
He just made history by the first president to ever tweet.
I mean, if Obama's tweeting, I got to get on it. 784-1102 is the number in the studio.
It's 8:46, 14 away from 9 o'clock, 35 degrees. Good morning. This is Macon Talks on 1280 WIBB AM, the voice of Macon.
When two people get married and move in together, it's safe to assume they share a lot of things in common, like a sense of humor,
Actually, he's with his aunt. He moved to Dalton.
Mutual appreciation for Ukrainian folk dancing. Of course, two people with similar tastes might also have too much in common when they start adding their possessions together. For instance, they may
I know he says he's gonna join the Navy, but
or two Wedgwood gravy boats. So, what does one couple do with twice as much stuff as they want? We'd like to suggest they give the half they don't need to Goodwill. As to which half,
thinking about Mercer,
we're not getting in the middle of that. The money we earn from donated goods,
and so you want to go into music?
Clothes, chairs, or even cars,
we thought about
people in our community become better prepared for life.
Performed at the Grand Ole Opry.
We understand that when what's his is hers and what's hers is his. We'd just like you to consider making what's both his and hers
and I sang with some other soloists.
You take clips and cookies.
Sometimes
for tomorrow, because I couldn't find that in the CD, the master CD.
Okay.
Is that it?
That's, well, no, that's not the CD. The CD was originally made. You can't find it. That was just clips from, you know, clips from his speech.
Musicians, songwriters, and producers for pop country music in the Macon area. I was going to go today to talk to Joey Stuckey, because most of the people I know are R&B and hip-hop.
But I got some stuff here. George just sent me. George just did a new something that, so you're looking for songwriters, producers, of country, pop country.
See, she does a lot of show tunes and a lot of Disney stuff. Like she can do Colors of the Wind from the movie Pocahontas, and I want to keep her in that area. Because R&B goes shopper and you know what if she go up in pop country music, then it's easy to transition. Yeah, but it's hard.
But you got a niche. You don't have many that's in that niche.
Exactly.
Black, yeah.
Like I mean, all about Raven. What's her name?
Raven Simone.
Yeah.
And she's making jobs, evaluating, training, placing. We do it all. Better still, we help fund these programs through your resources.
Yeah,
that sassy little frock you bought.
So if I could find some people locally
the shishi blouse
to help us,
help the young mom learn data entry. Your
well, I can tell you one thing Joey is a good
songwriter. The independence.
And he knows some folk too. I mean,
find that killer dress for next to nothing. And know this, you'll be saving a lot more than money.
Good clothes, and tell him I said hey when you go by there. Tell him I said hello when you go by there.
Visibility may be a little lower than usual with some fog, but so far so good. Looks like we're accident free. The highway's moving close to speed limits. Speaking of which, here's that speed enforcement for your Tuesday. Be extra careful. Vineville Avenue and Macon. Watch at Alberta Road, Mark Robbins, and Wood Point Creekside Drive.
So much.
And we're back at 1280 WIBB AM, the voice of Macon. This is Macon Talks, 35 degrees and kind of cloudy. Good start to the morning, even though it's a chilly one. It's 10 minutes to 9. Good morning. I'm Todd Haygood.
And I'm Anita Ponders. 784-1102 is the number in the studio. Couple of housekeeping pieces. Remember that we are highlighting our bright stars each and every day. From here on out, we want to wrap our arms around our young people who are doing great things, whether the grades are excellent. We want to wrap our arms around folk who are progressing in terms of their grades. If we have young folk who have a talent like Jessica, here, a young person like our playwright, our student of the day, Theron Please, out of Lizzie Chapel Baptist Church, who has written 2 plays, one which will be featured on January the 24th at Lizzie Chapel. We need to wrap out the next Tyler Perry. You know, as far as I'm concerned, we've already claimed it. And so we need to make sure that you send that information in so that we can tell the good thing that our young folk are doing. That's number 1. Housekeeping number 2, we need you tonight at 5:45.
That's right, at City Hall.
For what? To hit the home run?
They hit to take it in. We're third base. Now we're going in to slide in the home.
We're trying to slide in the home
to support the vote for replacing the benches at the Dempsey.
At Dempsey, and then when we say sliding in the home, sliding into the home is not just about putting the benches back in front of the Dempsey, but sliding into home means creating an awareness of the feeling that some people have with respect to needing additional police protection downtown or police presence. Sliding home is not just about that. Sliding in the home is if there's anybody out there who's advocating against the benches, you know, you have to ask yourself why. You know, why would something like that, why would you advocate against benches? And if it's because you fear of any kind of criminal activity, then that says to us that sliding into home also means that we need to make sure that we work with our business owners and that we work with the Dempsey Apartments and others to make sure that we have a police presence downtown, but not remove benches at the expense of all of us as citizens who might want to enjoy it. So let's do our last leg. I am so proud of us. I am so proud of us because we have stood the course since October, November. And as we go into this last leg tonight in support of our council folk who are advocating for putting the benches back. With that said, George, I know we don't have a whole lot of time. First again, Jessica, absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, this Howard High School student has come in here. She has done country. And she has done country without any music.
Yes. Ask her about her grades, too. She didn't talk about that.
Okay, all right. What?
I have all A's and B's. On my last report card, I got 1 B. It was a 86.
Oh, my goodness.
And that was, to her, that was not that good.
That was not good. So you hold yourself up. I mean, you have high expectations of yourself.
Yes, I do.
You know, and that's important. I mean, that's what's up. I mean, the girl can not only blow, but the good grades.
What do you see as far as your future?
I want to graduate high school and go to college. I'm thinking about
Mercer, because they got a good music school. We're also looking at Belmont. Her music teacher suggested Belmont in Tennessee because she's performed at the Grand Ole Opry before with Westside though.
Westside High School.
She was at Westside and show choir, but then after they rezoned everything, she got sent to Howard.
Sent to Howard. Okay. Well, you know, we with you, and we're gonna continue to hold you, keep those grades up. You know, and then you know, Daddy's already looking for what? He's not just any songwriter. He's looking for country songwriters, country producers.
I'm looking for some producers and songwriters and pop country music. Yes.
So we talking Carrie Underwood-ish, and we talking Taylor Swift-ish.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's who she likes. I mean.
Yeah. Hannah Montana. Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift.
And then that says to us right there. In fact, when we make the list of who to choose from, that lets you know that right there she's gonna have it all by herself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You know, we don't have any sisters doing that.
Yeah,
you know?
That's why we're gonna stick to that because of the uniqueness of it. We will do some R&B stuff at some point, but initially it's pop country music because that's the environment she grew up in. Before she came to live with me, her stepfather actually graduated from Berkeley School of Music, and he's a pianist.
Okay.
And he's a white guy, you know, and she grew up around that kind of music, you know, and she loves it. So I feed what she loves.
Right.
And I was just telling you, I'm gonna go by and see Joey Stuckey. I've heard so much about him.
Oh yeah.
And I met him years ago. And see if he could make some suggestions, because we do know some people in the music business, but not really locally that can do that type of music. So we're going to go and talk to him and see if he can suggest some people to us.
He's a good person to see. And he's also an example of where you can see the parents embraced what he loved. You know, blind musician, but probably wanting, the ear.
Yes.
One of the most talented musicians that I know, and that not only can help you with the country piece, but all of the technical stuff behind music. He's a good one to go see for that. So talent right here in Macon.
Yes.
And so we have to embrace that. Well, I really appreciate you, and more so than ever, because you have added to this conversation about our homeless folk and how you can turn your life around. You being an example that I didn't even know.
Yes.
And then you've also shined the light on being the single parent with a daughter, not the son,
yes.
but a daughter.
It's
and
not easy sometimes.
And if you can do it,
yes.
They can do it too.
Yes, we can do it. Yes,
and
definitely.
so we can embrace that. And then you're caring about us bridging that gap between our young folks. So this is a conversation that's going to continue. We have our arms around you, our Macon Talks family, Jessica, and I know you're going to be successful. It's no question about anything we can do to help. We're here. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Remember tonight, City Hall, 5:45 a.m. We're on third base. As Todd said, we're PM. We are sliding into home.
That's right.
On this issue. We're going to support the Public Properties Committee, who has said unanimously to the administration, let's bring the benches back, and now we need to stand by the rest of council and support them in this vote, and then stand by the community in terms of the public safety piece that's come out of this. We need to support that piece as well. It all goes hand in hand. All right?
That's right. That's going to do it for this edition of Macon Talks. And I'm Todd Haygood for Anita Ponder. Go out and make it a great day. And we'll see you bright and early tomorrow. It's 8:57, 3 away from 9 o'clock and 35 degrees and sunny. Good morning.
I'll bring this back next week. We'll talk about
Okay. There's so much to talk about, so let's do it. I think that works. Were you over at Booker T yesterday?
No.
Did you go to the grand reopening? No?
No.
All right.
No.
All right, Jessica.
I didn't get out of bed yesterday. I was just really, really lazy.
Oh, I understand.
Holiday. Movies. It was a movie day.
It was a movie day. But Jessica, well, tell the folk over at Howard that you're late because you're helping out the community.
Yes.
I'm gonna see if I can't find. I'm gonna call Ace and see if he has a copy of that CD. Because it's a fly CD.
You can't get the camera to work. Okay, y'all unplug those for me and pass them. Thank you.
Okay. So you got all your little things working right?
Yeah, trying to anyway.
I've been trying to put Messenger on it at home. However,
okay, help me because I got the 9:30 appointment.
My computer is hooked up by USB port. So I had to download the USB drivers to this computer, and because it's on Windows 7, rather than like XP, nobody makes drivers for it yet. So, I don't know. Y'all got
Todd, say hello.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, give her a hug so I can have it on camera.
All right. Good luck to you, baby. I look my little country pop star.
Right.
Yeah.
And then see, she got the look too. Some people go by image.
Oh yeah, I think that. I mean, that's an excellent venue.
When you got the look,
excellent venue.
When you got the look, and then when you open your mouth, you deliver. That's,
I know. Hey,
you know what I mean?
being a single father with her is not easy.
You really should audition for Idol.
Yeah.
In that category.
Yeah.
I was going to, but they said, I talked to my course teacher about it. He was there before, and he said that they make you sign a contract, and they don't give you time to read it, but they actually take your money for 5 years.
Oh,
and you're
really?
basically theirs. And
Yeah,
you don't
dude
get paid
does.
much, so.
Dude, what's the dude that's leaving?
Simon.
Yeah,
he takes the money.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to sign with his label.
Yeah, you sign with his label.